Good evening, everyone. I am Mark, your fat friend,
And I'm James, your black friend,
and this is the Fat and Black Connection.
where we talk about anything and everything. Well, as long as it's interesting to us, of course.
Naturally, because if it's not interesting to us, it shouldn't matter to you.
Our interests are your interests,
Well,
or your
there
interests
it
are your.
should be. Your interest should only align with what we're interested in. So, hey, it's January 11th, 2023. It's 8:03 p.m. Pacific. And I wanted to start the show off with something interesting that you didn't know before today, which is the fact that on cameras, when you take a picture of yourself or when you look in a mirror, for example, what you're seeing is not an accurate representation of what other people see.
Yeah.
So on cameras, digital cameras, home cameras, things of that nature, or on webcams like what we're using right now, you have the ability to what they call mirror your camera or switch it so that it looks real. So, for example, this is real right now. This is my left, this is my right. Okay. But this is my left, this is my right. That's weird, right? So when you're looking at this in to you, it looks like the door is over my right shoulder. But it does is that how it looks, or does it look like it's over my left
Yes,
shoulder?
yes, it looks like it's over your right shoulder.
Yeah. And what does it look like now?
Left shoulder. Or right shoulder. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait.
Okay. So
Do it again.
which of
When
my shoulders?
when I'm looking at you, it's over your left shoulder right now.
It's over my left, right? My left
No.
shoulder. This is my left shoulder.
Oh, that's your left shoulder. Then it's over your right shoulder.
It's over my right shoulder.
Yes.
Okay. Which shoulder is it over now?
Now it's actually your right shoulder.
Now it's
Correct.
over my right shoulder.
Yes.
Interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see yours for the viewing audience, so they can hopefully understand what you didn't understand. And there may
No.
be others out there that don't know that you can actually do this.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I never touched the settings before, and so it wasn't. I didn't even know there was a thing. So
your TV's over your left shoulder.
hold on. So yes, it's over here.
And that's where it's supposed to. Is that where it actually is?
That's actually where it is.
So this is how you actually would look if I was talking to you in person. If I met you in person, this is how you look, right?
Which is really weird because like where my mic is, yeah. So everything is. I never realized that everything was switched on this thing until today.
And by today, you mean in the last 10 minutes.
100%.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, if you're using a camera, a webcam, anything like that, you do have the ability to do what they call mirroring your camera. So if you want to have an accurate representation of what you actually look like when you meet and talk to somebody,
turn that off. Like I said, on here, I never touched the settings before. So it was one of those things where it was I didn't even realize. I mean, I'm looking at my screen and it wasn't even registering that, wait, my TV is on the wrong side. But so yeah, it's crazy.
Right? Yeah. So what do you think? Are you going to leave it like this? Like how you would actually look in real life if a person came to meet you?
Hey, might as well.
Sure, why not? So tonight I will be drinking some hard iced tea by Twisted Tea.
I haven't had one of those in
ages. I've never had one. So I actually have two here.
Oh no, not the twisted. No, that's not. Oh, not the Twisted Tea, because I'm not a fan of iced tea. That's the. I'm thinking the hard lemonades.
I have original and peach. What should I start with?
Well, do the original first, because I have the feeling the peach would be way better. And I'm gonna bust out another Guinness this week because I still had a couple. I had 3 of those in the fridge and one 805. So I was like, let's start killing these Guinnesses. Guinness eye. Does it taste like iced tea? Is it like a lemon?
Yeah, there's like a little lemon to it. It definitely it tastes almost like a brisk.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I like brisk iced tea.
Yeah, I think you would like this.
Because I like the
Thi-
brisk iced tea, but I'm not a fan of like iced tea. I
Now
don't know. It's really
I
weird.
will say this it's only 5% alcohol by volume. Very low, right?
Yeah.
And it's a 24-ounce can, James.
Yeah.
So how many ounces are
No,
alcohol?
you know I'm not doing that math.
Okay. So it's 5% alcohol by volume, and it's dangerous because I don't
Doesn't taste
taste
like you don't taste anything in there.
very, very, very faint on the back end. There's a little subtle hint of it, but it mostly tastes like drinking brisk.
What is it? Is it what's in that one? Is it
What do you mean?
vodka? Is it vodka or?
I have no idea. Let's see. No carbonation, contains alcohol.
I don't remember if what alcohol is in there.
It just says malt beverage with tea and natural flavors.
Okay.
So I forgot to mention this is a live and interactive broadcast. So for the millions around the world watching right now, you can engage with us.
That is really weird now, right? I'm pointing to where like normally I would point for the.
Yeah, no, it's over there.
Yeah, it's over here. I have to get used to that.
That's where it's always been, is over there.
Yeah, but I've always pointed this way because my camera is mirrored. So
yeah. So this is live. You can engage with us, and we may even change the direction of the show based on what you have to say.
maybe.
Yeah, if it's interesting enough, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So something interesting that has happened in the last couple of days. The last couple of weeks, I should say. I've been getting solar installed in my house.
Yeah. How'd that go?
It took a while.
Well, the weather was not cooperating really.
Well, there's that, but I mean, the whole process has
Yeah.
taken a long time. I think we started this process actually paying the deposit and everything back in like March. So
I remember you talking about the guys were coming or something like that to take a look at the garage or something like that.
Yeah, so along the different steps along the way, right? So originally I had to go out and take photos to send to Tesla, and that's who I got my solar through. Then I had to submit an HOA to my HOA for approval, and had to go through that whole process, which that in and of itself took almost 3 months to get them to finally review and approve everything, which is absurd. Ultimately, finally, we were originally supposed to have them come out for the first time like 3-4 weeks ago, and that got pushed back and delayed.
Right.
To where they finally came out and started work, I think New Year's Eve or the day before New Year's Eve.
Oh, wow.
They couldn't finish because we got hit with Snowmageddon here.
Snowmageddon!
Yes, that was fun. And so they finally came back today they came back last week, the second time to do some work, and then they came back again today. The panels are actually up on the roof. I have 2 power walls that have both been installed, and everything seems to be functioning mostly. There's a chassis issue on one of the power walls. They're going to get that fixed. It looks like tomorrow. But now we have to go through the inspection process before we can actually be what they call energized. And that, I found out today, can sometimes take up to 8 weeks. And that's because
what?
NV Energy, who provides our power here in Northern Nevada, they kind of drag their feet, it sounds like, because this means they're going to lose money, right? Because I'm going to be self-sufficient, if you will. So,
oh man.
Now, one of the cool things is on the app right now, I can see exactly how much energy I'm using in my house.
Right.
Um, and literally, I can turn off my space heater, for example, and see it adjust. Right now, with it on, it was at 3.5 kilowatts per hour. Now it's dropped down to 2.1. My
Hmm.
space heater uses a ton of energy,
Yeah.
and it's tiny. It's like that big.
Yeah. But it pumps out a
Um,
good amount of heat though.
this is true. This is true. But a ton of energy. So it's
Yeah.
cool to see live, how my usage works. And then once the panels and the power wall are actually turned on, I'll be able to see during the day how much
It's pulling
energy I'm
in.
getting from the sun,
Yeah.
how much is going to the power wall versus going to the house. And then at night, how much the power wall is giving to the house, so on and so forth. So that's
That's
kind
cool.
of cool to see it from that perspective. You know, I know that when I turn on a light, there's a certain amount of energy usage that gets consumed, but now I can literally
See
see
how much it is.
exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, that's anything interesting, fun, exciting going on for you in the last week?
I mean, I guess if you count meeting some uh adult film stars, then yeah.
Um,
What?
okay,
Okay.
let's hear the story.
So the avians were back in Vegas again. But it wasn't so
What
they
is the avians?
oh the adult video network, I believe it's called. I think that's what it is. I don't remember exactly. But
Okay.
anyways, it's so it like a lot of the adult, they had people who do like there's a convention and then there's an award show. Um all this was apparently at Resorts World. Um and so we went down um, on Saturday night, which was the night of the awards, and we were just kind of just walking around and seeing what was going on because I'd never been to Resort World either, and it's actually it's a really nice hotel, although it's really weird because there's like 4 different hotels within this one hotel. Um, but overall, I mean, it's a really nice setup and everything else. Of course, it's just Vegas expensive as far as drinks go, but yeah, we were just kind of walking around and we're kind of just chatting with people, and some of them happen to be some adult film stars. So yeah,
So you intentionally went to where the adult film awards were being given out?
yeah. But I mean, like we couldn't get in the award show, of course. But we were just kind of walking around, and they were all just. Actually, it was weird because I'm trying to figure out. I was like, were most of them just there to go, or because if they were going to the award show, they were all outside. Not all of them, but there was a good number of them just outside at the
How
bars
many
and
did
stuff.
you recognize?
I didn't actually recognize any of them. But like um there was just I mean, like they were the ones that were like dressed like a lot of the women were dressed in like gowns. And then some of the guys were in suits and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I mean I was like, oh, all right, cool. They were really nice, just kind of chit chatting. Didn't get any real huge conversations or anything, but met a few of them and they were cool people.
So did you hear about well, I would imagine you have, and maybe you can give us some insight as to what the heck is going on with aviation. More mass cancellations, not just for Southwest, but for many airlines over the last couple of days.
Oh, I
Computer
know.
glitches, FAA issues.
I don't
Did you
know
not?
anything about that. I know we did have some delays because we actually got rain. We got rain a few days ago. And it was super it was kind of foggy too, so I know that delayed some flights, but other than that, that's all I know about. I don't know anything about mass cancellations or anything. At least nobody coming through our airport was dealing with that now, I
Oh,
should say.
well, that's good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pop a surprise for those of you in the viewing audience that are here with us right
Huh?
now. This is the premiere of the Murphy's Inc. Season 1 trailer that we are using now as for advertising purposes.
Ooh.
When you subscribe to Murphy's Inc., this is what you'll get.
We're back! Oh my god, we're back! Wait, what the hell happened with the machine?
When the things you seek have been lost to time, look no further. We can go get them. We're Murphy's Inc.
The future of this company hinges on the completion of this task. Think of its well-being as proportional to my own, and yours as well. Are we clear?
We still need a few slabs of Greek marble from the 3rd century, samples of some extinct Prussian flora.
Add in the excitement of possibly messing up the timeline? Well, we are playing a dangerous game.
The course of history could be permanently altered.
Do you have a death wish?
Murder. We had to adapt. We had to change our plan.
Come on, you Vestlinger!
What did you do to me?
There we go. Doing what we do best. Stepping through time is like taking a stroll down the block.
Murphy's Inc., an audio adventure now on your favorite podcasting platform.
Yeah.
So if you haven't checked out Murphy's Inc., it is fully available. All 6 episodes of season 1 for your listening pleasure.
5, 6.
Yeah, so please go give it a listen. Let us know what you think. It is out there. And I will have some more exciting news about Murphy's Inc. at the end of this episode.
You just giving so much away right now?
You know.
Giving them the free stuff?
We don't have the Patreon set up yet, so you know.
Hey, well, if you know what, I found a couple things that I did not know about on my random facts. I was going through them.
You got some random facts for us?
Yeah. So Pringles aren't actually potato chips.
Okay.
Yeah. So apparently they are potato crisps. They are actually, because they're not made from thinly sliced potatoes, they're actually dehydrated potato flakes pressed into that signature shape. And so the FDA wouldn't let them put chips on there. They couldn't be marked as chips.
So they take potatoes, they basically smash them to hell, and then they press
dry them out. They dry them out and press them together.
Interesting.
Yeah,
and it makes sense when you think about the shape. Like
that is a weird shape. Yeah.
Well, and it's consistent, right?
Yeah.
If you could have 20 ruffles and they're all gonna look like the same, but they're not gonna be exactly the same. Where Pringles, you have 20, they're probably all identical.
Yeah. And
so I never really thought about it, but yeah, that's
no, like I said, I didn't either. And apparently during this is something I know there's dogs that we have in the military, but apparently this goes back to World War I, where the U.S. First Infantry Division found themselves unable to communicate because I guess it says shell fire damaged their telephone wires. So they had adopted this dog while they were where was it, in Paris. Yeah. And so the dog's name was Rags, and so they used the dog to send messages in the collar. They put messages in the dog's collar and sent it to the other trenches to deliver messages. Yeah.
What country is Paris in?
Huh?
What country is Paris in?
France.
Okay.
Come on. And but yeah, so and then when it says he saved many lives, and then when Rags passed away in Maryland at 20 years old, which is pretty old for a dog, he was buried with military honors, which I thought that's cool. That's really cool.
That is indeed.
Yeah, and then keeping with military, apparently the U.S. and the Soviets were studying how to use dolphins during war. During the Cold War. Well, it says during the Vietnam War and Cold War. It says both countries studied the creature for their sonar capabilities, but also trained them to detect mines, bring equipment to divers, and find lost equipment. and guard submarines, amongst other nifty tricks.
Yeah, a lot of that makes sense to me. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's time we talk about some interesting content. What do you think?
Let's do it.
So I'm going to start with this story just because we don't talk about this a lot, and I feel like I say that a lot more these days. And I
We've been talking about
apologize because I know not everyone loves this, and I'm going to try and keep this quick, but it's so interesting. It's hard not to talk about. So if you'll remember, back in summer of last year, and specifically around June 17th, Vince McMahon, who at the time was the chairman of the board, the CEO, the head creative content guy for WWE.
Hold on, Mark. Hold on. You're breaking up again.
Am I?
Yeah.
Are we breaking up?
It's like your audio is super sketch right now.
I'm wondering, and maybe we have some audience members out there to give us some feedback if it's a me issue or an issue, because
very well could be. It's that now you sound fine to me.
Okay. Well, so Vince McMahon, CEO, chairman of the board, head creative guy at WWE, he resigned as CEO on June 17th of last year. And then he retired from WWE pretty much outright on July 22nd, a week later. And pretty much from July 22nd on, we didn't really hear or see anything of Vinnie Mac. There was a couple photos of him being seen out to like dinner with a random hooker or whatever. And it's important to know that
it wasn't his wife.
It was not his wife, that's for sure. And it's important to know that part of the reason Vinnie Mac had to resign and then retire is due to multiple reports of sexual harassment, scandals, things of that nature. Well, the last week has been a bit chaotic. The Wall Street Journal published a story stating that Vince McMahon was planning to return to WWE to facilitate the sale of WWE. And this was on January 5th.
Mm-hmm.
The same day, JP Morgan, a company, is hired by the WWE to help advise the sale of WWE. The next day, January 6th, there is a Securities Exchange Commission, SEC, filing to appoint Vince McMahon back to the board of directors, as well as appointing two others, George Barrios and Michelle Wilson, both of which had worked for WWE previously and had been fired by Vince McMahon.
What?
On that same filing, 3 members of the current board were removed from the board of directors. And yes, this can all be done by one person solely, Vince McMahon, who is the majority shareholder of all forms of the stock of the company.
Buy him out.
So that's on January 6th, right?
Yeah.
On January 10th, less than 4 days later, Vince is elected chairman of the board. And that same day, Stephanie McMahon resigns as co-CEO of WWE. Vince then turns around and says Nick Khan, who was the other co-CEO with Stephanie, is the sole CEO. And then just a few hours later, we start getting rumors that WWE has been sold to Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. This is all in a matter of a couple days, right? So today, WWE, in the start of today's session, WWE stock price started to spike. It went to the highest it's been in 3 years. Mm-hmm. But then the rumors about the sale to Saudi Arabia started to say, oh, it's actually just a rumor. There are multiple people involved on the inside that came out and said, that's just a rumor. It's not true. Nothing has actually happened. So the stock price started to go down. Okay. So it's been a very interesting couple of days. And right now, here's where we are. There are some big names that are poised to potentially buy the WWE. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw them out there. Comcast, which for those of you that don't know, Comcast is NBC Universal, which there would be a lot of logic in that purchase happening.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that the WWE, Monday Night Raw, NXT is already on Universal properties or Comcast properties.
Then their special, or what do you call it? Their live premium events are on Peacock.
Premium live events.
Yes, are on Peacock.
Everything is on Peacock.
Yeah.
Raw, SmackDown, everything goes to Peacock eventually. The streaming rights are through Peacock.
Right. The only thing that's not on there
is our next potential bidder, the Fox Corporation.
Oh.
Next up, who bought Fox not that long ago?
Disney. Well, at least
they
the
bought
entertainment portion.
Yes. So Disney is one of the proposed potential buyers. Warner Brothers Discovery, Netflix, Amazon. Just from a content and position, it makes sense because then they could do everything streaming. Amazon, the Endeavor Group Holdings. This one's interesting, and that is the group that owns the UFC.
Oh, interesting.
Liberty Media. I had never heard of this one before. I had to look it up. They own SiriusXM, Formula One, and Braves groups.
Braves groups, like the baseball team?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Creative Artist Agency, CAA, which is a talent and sports agency. And then, of course, still in the running is Saudi Arabia's PIF, Public Investment Fund. That one, to me, is probably the scariest option for WWE to go with, only because there are so many currently signed wrestlers that would probably flat out quit, including ones that are involved in major storylines right now.
Yeah.
It just seems like a really bad option, and also from like a public relations media standpoint.
Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Because there's already issue when they were going over there just to do their crown jewel events.
Yeah, I mean, it's already clear. If it isn't already clear, obviously Vinnie Mac is doing this purely to make some bucks at this point. He knows he's out. He knows he's pretty much done in the public eye. So he might as well make as much money as he can. And it makes sense because this is the year that both of the television rights are coming up in 2024. So this is the year to make that happen if you're going to.
Yeah, he's doing it sounds like dick moves.
Yeah. Well, and Matt says he can't see Disney buying WWE, and I don't agree. I think Disney is in the content business.
Yeah.
And I could see them, Walt Disney Company, buying WWE and having it over on Hulu because Disney owns Hulu. And it would just be exclusively streamed through there. They could distribute it onto ABC. They could distribute it onto ESPN.
Yeah. True.
It wouldn't be probably on Disney Plus, but it is a multi-billion-dollar business.
The one I can really, the one that I think would be the best would be the Comcast.
I think Comcast makes a lot of sense because there's already so much there.
Yeah.
It would be a loss to them if it went anywhere else.
Oh yeah, so definitely.
I think they have the most to lose if they don't purchase.
Yeah.
But I think it's all a matter of, and I've been watching a lot of videos on this topic and situation. It's all a matter of what Vinnie Mac is trying to do. If he's just trying to make top dollar and get his money and walk away, then yeah, I think Comcast is the right option. If he's trying to purely get back control, I think the Saudi Arabia PIF option is the best because the company would go private. He would get an influx of cash and he would be back as the sole guy in charge.
Problem is that it was with him in charge. It was going downhill exponentially. Now with him not in charge, the product has been, well, not so much better, but it's been a lot better than it has been over the past couple of years.
I definitely was, and still am, highly interested to see what happens at like the Royal Rumble, for example, because it was going to be the first one without him, with Triple H at the helm. It still theoretically is from every announcement that has come out. Triple H is still in charge of creative. Vince is purely there to drive the selling portion. So if that's true, we'll see. But I don't know. Charlotte Flair coming back and winning the title on out of nowhere on her first day back.
Unless that was some deal they worked out with her, but yeah.
I don't know. There have been some weird things that have happened over the last couple of weeks, and this obviously we're talking about this too. So, still talking about sports. Let's shift gears and let's now make our NFL playoff predictions, shall we?
Here we go.
So let's throw this over here, and we'll do this as we normally do. We'll just start in the top left, work our way down, and then so we'll start with the AFC, and then we'll move over to the NFC, and we're going to work through the whole thing to get to our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is our early predictions, and we'll obviously update every week after this as we move along, but. Let's go ahead, James. I'm going to give you first pick on the Baltimore-Cincinnati game.
Well, seeing as what's his face isn't going to be involved, their star quarterback is not going to be involved in Baltimore. I'm thinking I'm going to have to go with Cincinnati on this one.
Yeah, as you know, I am a Ravens fan. I've got my Ravens jersey that I rock. But I would unfortunately have to agree with you. I think Burrows is going to carry Cincinnati on to victory. And I'm sorry, Matt. I'm a Baltimore fan. I'm a true Baltimore fan. And I got to say, Cincinnati, I think, is going to win this one. They're playing in Cincinnati.
Yeah, without and Lamar's not going to be involved. So
I will say Cincinnati is cursed. So as long as there's no major medical issues, then hopefully big ups for Hamlin, who I don't know if you heard was discharged today, got to go home. So that's great news. Let's move on down. Miami at Buffalo. To me, this is cut and dry. Buffalo.
Yeah, all day.
Then we move on down to Chargers at that crappy team of yours.
Yo, do not talk bad about Duval. Yeah, we coming down. They coming down to Chargers coming into Jaguar territory. So,
and Matt agrees with us on Buffalo. So I'm guessing you're going with the Jaguars.
Oh yeah, all day.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with the Chargers, and so is Matt. And I'm mostly going with the Chargers, mostly to be against you.
No, wow. All right.
Yeah, because we were the same on the first two. So
all right, trying to be different.
So let's move over to the NFC side to get our wild cards out of the way. So you've got the Giants at Minnesota. Where are you going?
Minnesota.
I would tend to agree with you. Seattle at San Francisco.
San Francisco.
I'm going to go with Seattle on this one.
No.
Seattle has had the tendency way too often than not to have San Francisco's number. And while San Francisco has been playing like a beast, they've won 10 straight to finish out the season. I think Pete Carroll is going to
I don't know, man.
Pull out another one.
I don't know. This isn't the same. It's not the same Seahawks team. That's all I'm saying. It's not the same Seahawks team that was used to beating the Niners.
Like I said, we have to have a difference, and I think we're going to be the same on the next one for sure. So Dallas at Tampa Bay.
So because I'm a Brady hater, that's the only reason I'm going with Dallas.
Oh,
But
see, I'm going with Dallas because they're the significantly better team. Dallas, the only reason they're in is because they're in a terrible division.
that's the only
The
reason
N- the
Tampa Bay's
NFC,
in. Tampa,
the N-
like I can some of these teams, the honest God truth, like Jacksonville, if in all other scenarios, they wouldn't even be because they where they landed. They are number one in the AFC South. The AFC South is horrible. So so that's the reason Jacksonville's in. But no, yeah, like Dallas is in a significantly better division. And so like the only problem is that you can never count Tom Brady out. Dear God. Shit, man, we just retire already.
yeah, well, I mean, so the thing to remember there is the Buccaneers had a losing record,
Yeah.
8-9,
Yeah.
right? Uh, uh, your Jaguars at least had a winning record and got in.
Right. Yeah. So like the what was
To be clear, in the AFC, no team got to the playoffs with a losing record.
oh, okay.
Yes, in the NFC, the Buccaneers. So the point being, in the NFC South, no team had a winning record.
Oh.
Buccaneers won the South with an 8-9 record.
Jesus. What? I didn't realize that. Wow.
Yes, that's kind of my point here is that
Sheesh.
You're talking about compared to a Dallas Cowboy team that was 12-5.
Yeah. Yeah. Never mind.
So, I mean, I get that you're a Brady hater, but I don't hate Brady. I'm not a fan of Brady, but Dallas is just significantly the better football team.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go over to back over to the AFC. And based on what you said, which was Cincinnati, Buffalo, and the Jaguars, the lesser team there would be the Jaguars. So they would be going into Kansas City.
Right.
So who do you got looking at the top then with Cincinnati?
And Cincinnati and Buffalo?
And that game would be played at a neutral site.
Oh, because Buffalo won.
So
it's because of what happened a couple weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Well, I thought that was for if they ended up playing Kansas City.
Oh, I think you're right. Now I'm looking at the records, and it does look like the Bills went 13-3, Bengals went 12-4, so the Bills would have home field.
Yeah, they would. So
Cincinnati going into Buffalo.
Yeah, no, so I think especially at home, Buffalo is tough to beat in general. So I would go with Buffalo.
And I think with the Hamlin situation, especially since that happened with Cincinnati, I think the players would be playing with a bigger chip on their shoulder, even though it's not anybody's fault necessarily. Right. But yeah, I would tend to agree with you here. I think that the Bills are the better team. I like Burrows and his squad, but I just think the Bills are going to take that. Then we move down to Chargers. I said Chargers. You said Jaguars. So you've got Jaguars at Kansas City.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to go Kansas City.
Yeah.
Even though that's not your team.
Right.
And the Jaguars are.
Yeah. Because I'm just being realistic because I know when they played Kansas City earlier in the season, just a few weeks ago. Actually, what was that? Hold on. What was that score? I don't remember that score.
It really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
so you're going Kansas
City. I think yeah.
And I said Chargers, Kansas City, and of course I can't be dumb here. I got to go with Kansas City. So let's move over to the NFC side. So you went with Minnesota, San Francisco,
right,
Dallas, right?
Yeah.
So that would mean that out of those three teams, the worst record, Minnesota, San Francisco, and Dallas. Dallas would be going to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yes. So it'd be San Francisco and Minnesota, they
Playing
have
in
the
San Francisco.
same record.
Would they be playing in San Francisco?
Um,
Or would they be?
I did San Francisco and the Vikings play this year?
I don't know. I'm sure they had to. They had to cross paths.
I don't know. That's a great. Let's take a look. I am pulling up their schedule right now because if they played at all this season, whoever won that game would have home field.
Yeah.
And it does not look like they played each other this year. So they did play each other in the preseason, but I don't think that
doesn't
counts.
Count. No, that doesn't
So
count.
I believe that it goes down. If it is the Niners and Vikings, it would go down to whoever had the most points scored, and that would be the Niners. So likely the Niners would have home field advantage.
Yeah. So if Minnesota is going into actually either way, I'm going with the Niners on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for me, it would be Seattle going into Minnesota. And I would go with Minnesota there.
Yeah.
So then we've got, oh no, I'm sorry. It would actually be because Seattle would go to the Eagles. So for me, it would be the Vikings and the Cowboys.
No.
And I would go with them boys, the Cowboys there.
Okay.
So going down to the Eagles game, man, this is so convoluted. So Dallas, for you, you've got Dallas.
Dallas going to the Eagles.
Yes.
Yeah, and that one
a great NFC East matchup.
That one, I mean, although the Eagles faltered way too much at the end of the season for me, so I think I would have to go with the Cowboys.
Even though they went 14-3. Okay.
It was just that it's at the end of the year. You don't. I mean, especially going into a bye, you definitely don't want to be going in. Down.
So for me, it would be Seattle going into the Eagles, and I would go with the Eagles.
Eagles, yeah.
So just to be clear on my side, it would be Eagles hosting the Cowboys.
No, that's mine.
No, yours is mine. I'm saying mine would be the Eagles hosting the Cowboys.
Okay.
Yours would be San Francisco hosting the Cowboys.
What?
I'm all over the place. You know what? I need my peach.
What? Wait.
I'm sorry. Go back one. You had the Eagles playing who?
Okay, because I had Minnesota and San Francisco.
Right, and you said San Francisco.
Right. And then I had the Cowboys playing the Eagles.
Right, and you said the Cowboys.
Right.
So you'd have Cowboys San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I got lost where we're at.
Okay, so you'd have the San Francisco 49ers hosting
the Dallas Cowboys.
And that is an old school NFC rivalry.
Old school matchup.
Okay, we'll come back to this. Are you gonna remember? You gonna remember yours?
Yes.
Okay, and for me, I would have the Eagles hosting the Cowboys. So we both have the Cowboys going.
Okay, but just a matter of who will they be playing.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back over to the AFC.
Okay.
Shall we? Are you good?
Yes.
Who do you have in your AFC championship? Do you remember?
Yes. So I have Buffalo and Kansas City.
Okay. Good. We both do. So who do you have winning that? It would be Kansas City hosting.
Yeah, but if I'm not sure about this one because
and we finally have Tyrus checking in, by the way, and of course he's a fanboy all over the place for San Francisco.
Of course he is. But I'm really thinking I'm I know I have friends that are Chiefs fans, but I'm gonna have to go with Buffalo on this one. I think Buffalo's gonna go into Kansas City, go into Arrowhead and win.
Now,
Pull
this
an
is
upset.
interesting because last year you were like a huge fanboy for Kansas City.
Yeah,
And I believe we had the same matchup last year.
I believe we did.
And you went with Kansas City.
Did.
And Kansas City was the number 1 seed last year.
Yes.
And you, for some reason, are not following that same trend.
No.
I'm just curious what has changed.
Well, Buffalo has been playing very. I mean, like I don't know. I'd like to see. Actually, so if things go down, we could get an old school matchup with Buffalo.
No, let's not get there yet.
Okay, yeah, fine. But I honestly, for some reason, I'm just feeling Buffalo. I think Buffalo is going to. Buffalo is strong right now. Buffalo's playing with a lot of passion. They're like I said, I think they have a ton of momentum behind them right now.
Okay, so you're going with Buffalo to win the AFC.
Yeah.
I concur. I am going with Buffalo to win the AFC. I think they are the stronger team going into the playoffs. I think if we're both correct and they make it to the AFC Championship, they will be even that much stronger. I think the Bills, if we're both right that they're the ones that get there, I think it's going to be the Bills.
Mhm.
If Kansas City plays anyone other than the Bills in the AFC Championship, I'm going to go with Kansas City. But
yeah, of course.
But I think the Bills are the one team that can knock out Kansas City.
Yeah.
All right, NFC. You've got the Cowboys going into Santa Clara.
Yeah, which is if man, that's some old school memories right there. Old school memories. And if anything, I would have to go.
Hold on.
What's
Before
up?
I got to put Tyrus on blast here. So, is it really fanboy or fact? San Francisco is healthy, and the last 10 games speak for itself. Sure, great, good for you. Just to be clear, only one team. So there have only been 7 teams now with the Niners that have ever won the last 10 of the regular season. Only one of which has ever won the Super Bowl.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So out of the 6 prior, only 4 got to the Super Bowl. One won it. So
very interesting.
It's great to be healthy and win your last 10, but it's also not bad to lose one of your last 10 so that you have time to get some more energy. Because you get a little too full of yourself. Let's remember the last team that went undefeated going into the playoffs. How'd they do?
Yeah, well,
I think they lost in the Super Bowl. So, anyways, you've got Cowboys going into Santa Clara.
Yeah. And they, once again, honestly, I'm going to have to go with them Niners.
Okay. I already have the Niners out, and I have the Cowboys going into Philadelphia, and I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
Really?
I am
beating Philly.
I am. I think the Cowboys are poised. It's been a long time coming, and I think Dax is ready. I think they're ready to go. So I think if they don't go this year, I don't think they're going anytime soon. So it's got to be this year.
But as I've said to every Cowboys fan that likes to come through my checkpoint, they will choke eventually.
They might. So going into the Super Bowl, you've got Bills, San Francisco.
Yep.
Who's going to win that Super Bowl?
Buffalo.
So you've got Buffalo going all the way and winning the whole thing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I think it's just time, man. I know a lot of Niners fans are looking for that seventh ring or whatever, but I think Buffalo is poised. Buffalo seems poised right now to.
Well, you got to remember the Niners fans for the longest time had the ability to say they were 5-0, right? And then they lost to my Ravens, and then they lost. Who'd they lose to a couple years ago?
To
In the
Kansas
Super Bowl?
City.
Yeah. So now they're 5-2 in the Super Bowl. I think any San Francisco Niner fan would rather they don't
rings.
would prefer they don't go to the Super Bowl if they're not going to win it.
Tyre's correct to me. They have 5 rings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They only have 5.
Yes.
They're going for 6. They'd
quest
like
for
to go
6.
for 6.
Yeah.
I think in your scenario, because you have the Niners going all the way, Niners Bills, I think that's a really good game. I think I look forward to watching that game.
Yeah.
But I have to disagree with you. If your scenario is right, I think the Niners unfortunately win. Now, in my scenario, I've got the Cowboys and Bills. And I think them boys.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Good. No, I might not see videos of guys pulling their TVs off the wall and shooting them.
You'll probably still see that.
Did you see that video last year?
I sure didn't.
Cowboys fan straight up punches his TV. It falls on the floor, and then he proceeds to shoot it.
So Matt is going with San Francisco beating Buffalo. And Tyrus had predicted Buffalo versus Kansas City in the AFC and San Francisco versus Philly in the NFC. But he didn't say anything beyond then. So I'm really curious, Tyrus, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Tyrus's birthday is coming up here in the next couple days. So let's
Happy birthday, Tyrus.
make sure to give him a big happy birthday. And if you see him in the bar, buy him a shot. Preferably a cement mixer. I know he loves those. Or a Four Horsemen.
Liquid cocaine.
I'm trying to give him the opportunity because I know he's very slow at typing to tell us who he's predicting to win. And we've got our Mr. Brian Holland Hobbs checking in. It sure would be nice to have a Niners win. It's been a while. Like I said, if I was a Niners fan, I would not want them to go to the Super Bowl this year because I don't think they can beat. I don't think they could beat the Chiefs, and I don't think they could beat the Bills. If somehow it's anyone else,
it's been one hell of a season. It's been. I'll give the Niners this. It's been one hell of a season coming off of your starting quarterback getting hurt, then Jimmy G coming in getting hurt, and you're going with third string, and that guy's been
Brock.
Yeah, Brock Purdy. Oh, by the way, actually, I met
that kid. That kid is.
He's lightweight amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I will say, I think the Niners. If there's been conversation about Garoppolo being able to come back in the next week or two, and for sure, if they get to the AFC Championship, he'd be available by then.
I don't think he's playing though.
I don't think they should. No. I think this kid has won you the last 5. Last 6. I'm sorry.
Keep him in, and if you want to try something crazy, then pull Garoppolo in. But it's unnecessary.
And look, Tyrus has time to type out BCP as his nickname, but doesn't have time to tell us who he thinks going to actually go to the Super Bowl and win.
Yeah.
Tyrus, you're killing me, Smalls.
No, but yeah, Purdy, that boy has ice in his veins. Actually, I met his aunt and uncle the other day.
Yeah, and still he's commenting on other stuff. Trey Lance will get Tyrus. Tell us,
bro. Trey Lance is not getting traded. I don't understand why you'd even say that. Like Trey Lance is not going anywhere. They put too much money into that kid. If
Tyrus,
anybody's
going to win the AFC? You predicted San Francisco versus Philly, and who's going to win the NFC? You predicted Buffalo versus Kansas for AFC, and so just answer those questions. Who's going to win those? And who's going to go to the Super Bowl? That's what I want to know. He's killing
Bro,
me.
yeah.
He's killing me.
I don't think he knows.
Well, I don't think he wants to be held to
Accountable.
account when he's wrong. Yeah, I think Brock Purdy, that kid's got a future.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that they're already comparing him to Steve Young and Joe Montana.
Well, he's already got those numbers. That's why.
Okay, the guy has won. He won 6 straight games, which
Right, but the numbers that he put up in those games are comparable to those guys.
I get it, but let's see some longevity. Let's
Right,
see
of course.
dominance over multiple seasons.
Right.
That's Steve Young. That's Joe Montana. Like,
Right.
if you really want to do those kind of side by side comparisons, let's do that. And I'm not trying to knock him. All I'm trying to say is, let's calm down. Let's, it's like
don't count out the chickens.
I saw somebody post this image the other day of LeBron at 40 playing, right? Or at 38, I'm sorry. And how in 2 games he's had 2 40-point games, where Michael Jordan over the course of his season at 38, he had multiple 40-point games, but not as many. He didn't do 2 for 2. And it's like,
what? So
and like LeBron James.
What did he do?
LeBron James is a beast. He is hands down the second best player of all time. Could he still be the best player of all time? We'll see. Maybe
he has an opportunity.
He definitely doesn't have the rings that Michael does.
Sure doesn't.
And so I don't like the comparison between MJ and him. But
they're that's the thing. It's just that you're looking
different
at
players
two
in different eras.
Yeah, like back then, like you're not some of the stuff they get away with now, they're definitely not getting away with back then.
Well, and back then it was a much more physical game.
Way more physical.
So, and yeah, Tyrus is copping out. He's basically refusing.
Bruh. Get out of here! Stop. Bro,
so I guess Tyrus is hoping that Jimmy G will be back in the AFC Championship.
He's
that
not
predicting.
Bruh, if even if he is willing, if he's ready to play, I think he's not going to start. Like I said, they pull him in for a play here and there, but like I think they stick with the guy who's got them where they are right now. Purdy.
Well, again, I think Purdy's good. I think the smart play is to utilize him the whole way. If you're in your prediction, they get to the Super Bowl, then yeah, I think that they should stick with Purdy. Tyrus said to read that again. It's too early to put all the money on Brock Purdy, but his potential can go far where Jimmy G is pretty much at his ceiling.
Yeah. Listen, the main thing is all
Tyrus, our other people watching, enjoying the show, they want you to put up your picks. So put your money where your mouth is and give us some names. Who's winning the AFC, who's winning the NFC, and who's winning the Super Bowl?
So the thing is, too, is that like Jimmy G, it literally this year was supposed to be kind of an audition year because he's not, the fact that, well, it's a good thing they kept him. It's a good thing the Niners kept him, but there's been plans for him to be leaving the past like 2 years. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna hold my breath on Tyrus actually like giving us some picks because
we're just gonna go ahead and move on.
Yeah. So I posted this yesterday, I believe, and I know that we've got some stuff planned, right? We've got our cruise coming up in a couple months. We've got Disneyland in November,
right?
Which we can say November. We don't have to say next year,
right? Right.
Like that is this year, November.
We're in 2023, people.
Yeah. So, however, over on the wrong coast, East Coast, at the Walt Disney World, the Magic Kingdom, or Disneyland Light, as I like to call it.
What?
Yes, Disneyland Light.
Wow.
Yeah, the Magic Kingdom, it's Disneyland Light. It's wannabe Disneyland.
Bigger castle, bigger just space in general. It seems like just
It's more spread out, that's for sure.
yeah. Well, okay. Disneyland Light.
I mean, what does the Magic Kingdom have that Disneyland doesn't? That
Wow.
is, aside from what I'm about to talk about.
Yeah, I was about to say. Well, actually, you know what? They're mad. I will say, I like the Magic Mountain. I was about to say. I like Space Mountain at Disneyland better than at Disney World because Disneyland actually has a soundtrack. Disney World still has the old like toboggan setup.
Well, yeah, the Magic Kingdom, they utilize the bobsled system of Matterhorn, if you will.
Yeah.
And finally, we get something out of Tyrus.
They have a left and right situation too at on Space Mountain in Disney World.
Yes, Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom, whatever.
Tyrus can't decide between San Francisco and Philly.
Oh my God!
So that's his issue is he won't pick on the NFC side. He says the Bills will make the bowl, and that's all he's going to give us. So that's such a cop out. Anyways, there is nothing at the Magic Kingdom like Pirates of the Caribbean is better at Disneyland. The only thing that I think is better at the Magic Kingdom.
I haven't been on.
The only thing that I think is better at the Magic Kingdom is Dumbo, and that's because they have two
Side by side, yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, the Magic Kingdom doesn't really have anything that isn't available at Disneyland.
Their Small World is smaller too. Actually, no.
And Smurf Keeg agrees with me, I guess.
Yeah. Well, no, because actually, there is one thing that Magic Kingdom has that Disneyland doesn't. The Seven Dwarfs Mine Car.
Okay, sure. But there are many things that Disneyland has that the Magic Kingdom does not. Many dark rides.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so they don't have Peter Pan and stuff like that, do they?
No.
Yeah, they do. Small World is smaller there too.
Small World is smaller.
Yeah.
They don't have Toontown.
That's kind of almost irrelevant because they have I don't know if they still have it, but it was Mickey's Carnival thingy or whatever.
They don't have Mr. Toad. They don't have Pinocchio. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
They don't have Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, but they do have the Hall of Presidents.
But that's also at Epcot, though.
No, it's not. It's at the Magic Kingdom.
I thought that was at Epcot.
Nope. Ah, yes. Thank you, Brian. So to offset your Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but they have the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
No, that's at Hollywood Studios.
That's at Hollywood Studios.
That is not. So again, my
point we're just
is
talking about Magic Kingdom.
That's what I said. I said the Magic Kingdom is Disneyland Light.
Okay, whatever.
I didn't say Disney World is
I'm just
Disneyland
surprised.
Light.
Actually, I'm surprised they don't have. I'm surprised they don't have an Indiana Jones right there. And Star Tours is at the Hollywood Studios.
Correct. Not at Disney. Not at the Magic Kingdom. Disneyland is better than the Magic Kingdom. Period. Hands down. No one can try to debate that. The Haunted Mansion looks amazing at Disney World. Same ride though. Yeah. Or at Magic Kingdom. Same ride more or less. Except for the elevator. At Disneyland, the elevator actually goes down. At the Magic Kingdom, the ceiling goes up.
Yeah, because they also built that place in a swamp. So.
Yes. Anyways, all of this to say, Magic Kingdom is going to finally have, I wouldn't say a full leg up, but it's trying. It's raising its leg up a bit. It's got the knee in picture.
Fat guy trying to lift that.
I'm like exhausted. Opening April 4th.
Oh man.
The Tron Light Cycle Run.
I've been waiting for this ride. Because like I saw that it was it originally is in Beijing. The first one's in Beijing, right?
Brian will, I'm sure, tell us where it is, but I thought it was in Tokyo.
No, I think it's Beijing or is it Shanghai or
Yeah, there is no Beijing. There's Shanghai and
Shanghai?
there's
I'm
Tokyo.
sorry, Shanghai. I believe it's in Shanghai.
Okay, and
Um,
that might be right. I
yeah,
know it's in one
because
of
I
the
know
Asian.
it was one of the first big attractions that they had.
Hong Kong. Now
Yeah,
I'm
let me
just gonna
look
have to
that
look
up.
it up.
Yeah, because I believe that was one of the first big things that opened when Shanghai opened up.
It is Shanghai Disneyland.
Yeah, okay. Because they have this, and they also have a bigger Pirates there
Their
as well.
Pirates is amazing.
Yeah,
That thing, man. Oh, they're checking in.
Yeah.
We've got those YouTube private dating sites checking in. Thank you.
Yeah.
For those of you interested, head on over. Get your new private dating chat. I wonder if there's somebody that actually clicks on that is like, yeah, maybe the one that actually has hearts. That one, they're like, yeah, let me click on that.
That one.
So, anyways,
Anyway.
Tron Lifecycle Run opening in just a few weeks, months.
Yeah.
So I think this is reason enough for us to start looking to plan our Fat and Black Connection Disney World trip.
I think so.
Yeah. Obviously not this year, but
No.
maybe 2024.
Maybe.
But
that would definitely be more likely. But yeah, no, I've been wanting to do that since I heard about it.
Yeah, and watching some of the test runs of that thing going, man, that ride looks pretty impressive.
Yeah,
and,
I haven't looked at anything for it. I've seen like a little snippet, and I was like, nope, not gonna watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a clone of Shanghai. I think it's the exact same track and everything. So, in that regard, it's...
The thing is a stadium.
Yeah. So, talking about fast vehicles, there's a trailer that came out that I posted today. And the only reason I posted it is because we very often hear talk about movies.
Yeah.
And we very often hear talk about video games.
Yeah. And so we're taking a video game, a movie.
And my wife checking in, we're not doing Disney World in 2024. So that'll be
okay.
That'll be a conversation because I said a Fat and Black trip to Disney World. You could stay home, I guess. She's gonna come in here and hit me or something in a minute. The nice thing is we're live and the camera's on, so
video evidence.
And to be clear, not 2024. Okay, well, and I guess I'm digging myself a grave. Man. Digging up them bones. So, going back to what we were talking about, video games, fast things, movies.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo, the film.
Yo. When I first saw it, like I thought, I was like, wait, I thought this was like a new game or something. But seeing how they hooked up some of these cameras and stuff like that, I'm like, yo.
Orlando Bloom.
This could be very
David Harbour.
Yeah, they said it's based on like some kind of true events or something like that.
Now, I've played Gran Turismo games when it's like free to play or whatever. I've like tried it out.
It's just racing game.
It's just a racing game. It's not. There's no story. There's no. So I'm like
even I remember Road Rash? That had a story behind it.
I mean, there have been many racing type games that have had some kind of the crew that ultimately is a racing game, but there's a storyline there.
Yeah.
I just don't understand Gran Turismo as a movie.
Maybe this is its last hurrah.
Well, I guarantee you there won't be a sequel. To me, it's like, is it a modern day Days of Thunder?
Oh, could be.
Because like, what's the last good racing film?
Talladega Nights.
Was that a good racing film?
Yeah.
Or
Tyra
was
says,
it
Tyra says, why?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand is why would PlayStation want to spend the kind of money that they've spent to make this movie? There you go. I will 100% agree. Last good car racing film, Cars.
Cars. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, I was
And
thinking like live action. Yeah.
and as Matt said, they'll make a movie out of anything these days. I guess, but still, like when I think if I'm PlayStation,
Gran
Sony,
Turismo has like some of the, I mean, the cars in that game are, I mean, this is going to be a car enthusiast movie for sure.
now the one thing that's interesting is that none of us have said Fast and Furious in regards
Because
to
that stopped being a racing film after the first film.
Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift,
involved
yeah.
a little.
Yeah.
Jenny says, at least it's not a musical.
Oh dear God!
Don't say that because Orlando Bloom is in this thing. He could turn into one.
Nah,
He's
just married to Katy Perry.
Ford versus Ferrari was pretty good.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, I didn't see that one either. I heard that was good though.
So ultimately, will I see it? Musicals are good. Yes, we're all
on what they're all about, but
we're all musical theater actors, performers here. Yeah. I would agree. I enjoy a good musical, but I don't enjoy a bad musical. And there are many bad musicals out there.
So you're right.
Gran Turismo the musical,
yikes,
would be bad. It would be almost as bad as Gran Turismo starring Clint Eastwood.
It's Gran Torino, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes. It was a little jokesy.
Wait, what?
Killing me.
Yeah.
So let's switch gears from, I think, a bad movie coming to, I think, a really probably good movie coming.
Sir.
And I love this poster that they came out with, and that's for Quantumania.
Oh, that is a nice poster.
And we in this last trailer we got a lot to digest.
Yo, tell me why actually MODOK actually looks pretty dope.
Yeah, MODOK looks legit. Looks like Kang's right-hand man.
Kang and bro, that line that he pulls on him when he's like, give me what I want or I will take everything away from you. I was like, yo, that is crazy. Wait, so who is, I'm not too up on Ant-Man and Wasp, but is Cassie actually play? Who's Cassie's character?
What did Matt say?
Yes, indeed, Matt. I'm juiced, bro.
I'm hoping Matt picked up that shirt.
Yeah, we have that shirt available, so you should probably get that one.
So you were asking about Cassie?
Yeah,
stature.
Cassie Lang.
Because
I saw that she has a costume in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Is that in the comics?
Yes, Stature.
Stature.
Yes, is the name of. Well, there's been a couple different ones. I assume they're going to go with Stature. I don't know if there has been an official announcement on what her name will be. Tyra says that some people hated Kang in Loki. This variant is going to be a beast in this film.
Who didn't like Kang in Loki?
First of all, Kang was not in Loki. He Who Remains was in Loki.
Oh, right. Didn't he mention his name was Kang or something like that?
Nope.
He
He said, "I've been called the Conqueror,"
"Oh yeah,
but he never said Kang.
yeah,
And who,
yeah." Who,
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 who?
who hated him?
We've always talked about Tyrus being the anti guy, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it was probably him, but he doesn't want to say that.
If you hated Mr. Jonathan Majors in that role on Loki, there's something seriously wrong with your medulla oblongata.
Agreed, absolutely. Which Loki 2, Loki season 2 is in production. If you hadn't heard.
Oh no, I didn't hear about that.
Yes,
I'm just
they've
waiting
almost.
for-
I think they may have actually wrapped principal. So
Oh nice, because they have what else season 2 wise is coming? It's supposed to be coming. No, Mandalorian. Oh, season 3 for Mandalorian. Is that done yet? Do you know?
oh yeah,
Okay.
that's canon.
Oh, and apparently, so I was on IMDb the other day and I saw a poster for Ahsoka, and it went and it's apparently they're supposed to be bringing characters from Rebels into Ahsoka because did you watch Rebels?
I have not watched Rebels, but
Watch
I
Rebels.
have.
Do you know?
I know the storyline basically.
Okay, so at the end of Rebels, they went out and were looking for I can't remember that kid's name, but it doesn't matter. They went out looking for the character that went missing at the end, and so they're talking about that's where this Ahsoka series is taking place. So I'm very interested to see which characters from Rebels they bring in.
Indeed, that I
Wait.
have heard.
Bad Batch is out now?
Yes,
Oh, I didn't see it when I went on. I went on Disney Plus today earlier today because
yes, and Brian did get it correct. There is going to be a season 2 of What If.
Yeah, that is right. Oh, Mando's coming March 1st. Okay. Cool. All
Yeah,
right.
and I don't know if you saw, but there have been some photos released recently of the Acolyte. That looks like it's going to be interesting. And I don't know if you know, but the Acolyte, it's about a Sith. It primarily revolves around the Sith and Sith apprentices and stuff like that.
Oh, I
So
didn't
it's
know
going to
about
take place a long time in the past.
that. Oh, it's even before. So this is when the Sith and Jedi were doing the same thing as far as apprentices and
And there were many Sith.
Many
not
Sith,
just,
yeah,
Not just 2.
not just the rule of 2.
Yeah. Well, the rule of 2 still exists, a master and an apprentice, but there were many masters, many apprentices, but there was never like a Sith council, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
They were always out doing their own thing, more or less.
So that's what the Acolyte is. The Acolyte is just more about the Sith. That's kind of cool.
Tyrus claims that he being Jonathan Majors got reviewed, and critics said that he wouldn't be a good replacement villain for Thanos.
Bro, because Thanos was
Who
says
did these
this?
reviews?
Yeah, because honestly, if you do not think like he is definitely going to be way more psychological than Thanos was. Thanos was like a blunt instrument. I believe that Ezra, thank you, Tyrus. But I think that Kang is going to be more of a surgeon than a blunt instrument like Thanos was.
Yeah, I don't disagree. So for those of you just joining us that maybe weren't here earlier in the episode, I premiered the new Murphy's Inc. season 1 trailer. And I'm going to go ahead and play that one more time before I drop a couple of big announcements about Murphy's Inc. So here we go.
When you subscribe to Murphy's Inc., this is what you'll get.
We're back! Oh my god, we're back! Wait, what the hell happened with the machine?
When the things you seek have been lost to time, look no further. We can go get them. We're Murphy's Inc.
The future of this company hinges on the completion of this task. Think of its well-being as proportional to my own, and yours as well. Are we clear?
We still need a few slabs of Greek marble from the 3rd century, samples of some extinct Prussian flora.
Add in the excitement of possibly messing up the timeline? Well, we are playing a dangerous game.
The course of history could be permanently altered.
Do you have a death wish?
Murder. We had to adapt. We had to change our plan.
Come on, you Vestlinger.
What did you do to me?
There we go. Doing what we do best. Stepping through time is like taking a stroll down the block.
Murphy's Inc., an audio adventure now on your favorite podcasting platform.
I heard somebody's voice in there that helps on this show occasionally. A very brief cameo, if you will. And Jenny calls it out. Murder. Yes, Tyrus, you got one word in that trailer. That's more than James or I got.
Yeah.
And we both do voiceover work on that show.
And say a lot more than you do.
Yeah. So good for you with your one-liner.
One-worder.
One-worder, yes. So Murphy's Inc. We're starting to catch a little bit of fire. We're starting to see some numbers on downloads. It's a slow burn. It's not a quick burn. I'm not gonna fake anyone out. But we have got some interesting and exciting news. There is a show out there that is called Pop Culture Kaboom.
Pop Culture Kaboom.
And they do a show on, I forget how many they say, there's like 5 pillars or 4 pillars or whatever, where they talk about comics and they talk about movies and television, and they talk about the big things in pop culture, right?
Is it like a 3-hour show?
It is actually. It's like a 3-hour once a week show, and they have asked me to come on to Pop Culture Kaboom to talk about Murphy's
Again?
Yeah, to
Oh,
talk about season 1 in general and what it means for season 2. And yes, there is a season 2, and it is in pre-production. We are currently writing. It's going to be big. Season 1 of Murphy's 6 episodes. Season 2 is shaping up to be close to 15 episodes.
Yeah.
So they have asked me to come on, and they want to do anywhere between one segment at about 20 minutes, potentially 2 segments up to 40 minutes
Nice.
to talk about the show. So I will be doing that, and that's going to be on January 22nd. So that's coming up in the very near future.
Yeah.
I look forward to getting to go on there and bloviate about what we do over at Murphy's Inc.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we have been asked to join another podcast called The First Episode Of, where me and the lead writers on Murphy's Inc. will be going on to discuss how Murphy's Inc. came into being, how it was created, what went into it, basically. And obviously I wasn't involved with the show pre-production, if you will.
Right.
Like when they were first doing the elevator pitch and coming up with who the characters were, I got involved more or less after the first episode or so was written, but before anything else. But we're going to talk about the first episode of, we're going to talk about the show overall, how it's produced, how it's created, made, and anything like that. And that's an hour long interview that I guess he then pares down into about 30 minutes. So Murphy's Inc. is catching a little bit of fire. These are both things that we were asked to do. We didn't reach out and say, "Hey, you want us?"
Yeah,
so and
cool.
our like I said, our numbers from a download perspective, those are growing. So it's good to see. I think we've got a good show, and I really hope that everyone
No doubt.
that joins us here has given it an opportunity and has listened, and I'd love to get their
Yeah, Matt.
feedback. And
Matt has to. Matt, you've had to get into it, right? I'm thinking he has. Tell your students about it too when you go.
yes,
Give them extra credit if they listen to the show.
yes. Well, they've got to write a paper on
Yeah,
it.
because we got to make it educational. So they got to write a little something.
How it's historically inaccurate.
The historical, yeah.
Oh, he has.
Oh, what?
Yet.
Come on, Murray. You're my boy. You're supposed to be in on that. Well, now,
So yes.
Oh, here's what you can do now. You can listen to it with your students, so you can listen to it and then make sure they listen to it, and then there's papers involved.
There you go. There you go. I like it. I like it. So yeah, Murphy's Inc. Fun show, season 2, pre-production right now. One other big announcement is that the composer from season 1, his name is Louis Palfrey, who is based out of the UK. He is back for season 2. We have locked him in. I am still working on other components, but the cast is all coming back for season 2. Well, the ones that we've asked to come back, which is pretty much all of them.
Sorry, Travis. No, I was kidding.
So yeah, we've got a lot of fun things in store for Murphy's Inc. And I really look forward to where that's going. So as we wind down here, James,
do we give Louis website a shout out?
Yeah, we actually did a segment on his website.
That's right.
And showed it. And...
Yeah, show that boy some love because he's amazing. Like he's apparently working on a feature film right now. So
he's working on a couple different films actually.
Oh, really?
And it's interesting because I've worked with other people who claim to have had issues with him, and I don't get it. Because we had no problems. We think the guy is great.
0.
Highly recommend.
5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, Louis Palfrey for the win. If you're looking for somebody to compose anything that you're working on, that's your guy. I mean, no offense, Brian. I love you, and I think you are a really good composer as well. But unfortunately, you're the guy. You're the guy I would go to if I needed orchestration and
100%.
Yeah, when I need that John Williams, I'm gonna come to you. But we're not there yet.
Yeah.
I don't got that.
And Matt teaches math, so there will be no papers involved. But you can still give that extra credit though. Throw a little incentive out there.
Sure. Why not? Write me a paper on the principles of mechanics around math and time travel.
Oh.
How much energy does a time machine need to go back 3,000 years?
Yeah, just make up a question about it. And, shoot it our way first. You shoot it our way so we can actually know, too, how much power you think it needs. So, therefore, we can...
Yeah, I'll send it over to the lead writers and be like, hey, does this sound right? So, James, as we wind down here, what's going on with you?
Not a whole lot, man. Here's something. I met a young lady the other day who was and almost got on a bad side because I asked her, I was like, because she had very unique, she had very striking features, and I was like, where? I asked what her ethnicity or not. What did I ask? I asked her where she was from, and she said guess, and I was like, I was like, no, it was like Middle. I don't remember if I said. because I was like, no, it's not Saudi Arabia or anything like that. And then I said I was thinking maybe like Pakistan, but she was like, no, but it's in that general vicinity. And then she said she was Palestinian. She said she was from Palestine. And I was like, and then
Oh no, what did you do?
I made the dumb mistake of saying, and like she didn't get upset with me. She didn't get upset with me because she understood where I was at. And
Which you're at dumb, but go ahead.
no, she understood where I was coming from with it. But like because I wasn't meaning any offense because I was gonna because I one of the things I was gonna say was Israeli. And so, that's an issue because when she said she was from Palestine, I was like, wait, I'm confused. But then when we actually kind of had a little conversation about it because there was nobody online, it was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Where we know because like I've only known it Israel, but Palestinians think of it as Palestine, and Israelis think of it as Israel. And
There are two different, as of right now, there are two different. There is Palestine and there is Israel. They're two different things. They fight over who should have control over certain areas or
right.
aspects,
But yeah, that's what I was just unaware. And so like, but we had a very good conversation because she was like, yeah, there's, I mean, listen, she was like, I understand both. I am Palestinian. I understand both sides. And so I wouldn't, so, and I was like, yeah, all I know is it's been a war that's been going on forever. And so like, that was a very, it was a very interesting conversation. It's one of those conversations I don't get to have all the time. It's one of those conversations I don't get to have really ever, but it was kind of nice to kind of, have that kind of interaction because you don't get those too often, but it was pretty interesting.
do you have conversations with a lot of Israelis?
No, I mean, I'm just saying like because it was just hearing like just kind of hearing like from like a different perspective. I'd love to talk with an Israeli at this point too and find out like their thoughts on it. But yeah, no, I thought it was pretty cool just because like, you don't like not always at work you learn something kind of that you didn't really, but every once in a while you get those little nuggets and it's like,
Wait, this was at work?
Yeah.
This was when you were working?
Yeah. There was nobody in line. That's what I'm saying. That's the only it was quiet, just a one-on-one kind of quick conversation. So it was like, it wasn't anything like drawn out or anything. But she was really nice. She was really nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That was not at all where I was expecting the conversation to go when you started off by saying, so I was talking to this girl.
Oh no. Yeah, no. She was like, she was just because I was like, wow, because I did comment. I was like, very beautiful. Like, where are you from? Because like her features were very striking. And
again,
like,
you said this at work while you were working.
Yeah.
Brian would like to know, did you get the number?
No. I was just literally it was just straight up conversation.
Didn't even try.
No, I did not. But like I said, it was just like a cool, quick little conversation.
And Tyrus thought James was going to end with that was his new girlfriend.
Oh man, you guys have way too much faith.
Tyrus is disappointed.
You know what else I'm disappointed in, Tyrus? That you didn't actually give us an answer to the football question. So we both had disappointments today.
Hey, at least we just know you have no cojones where Tyrus is indecisive. You have an excuse. Tyrus doesn't.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even like it was. I don't even know. I don't know. I could have maybe asked, but I don't know if that even would happen. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, what's the difference? I mean, if you're going to start while you're working, be commenting on people's looks, why not go for numbers, I guess?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, because that's not a quick way to get fired at all, I guess.
No, I mean, like, I throw compliments out to everybody. I be throwing compliments out to everybody. Not everybody, most people. I throw little things out there, make them feel good about their day.
Give me a compliment.
Oh, like you? You know what? That goatee is looking really nice today, sir. Yeah, I have to see your ID.
I
I'd have
trimmed
to see,
today.
I shaved today. I'd have to see your ID though, because then I would have, because that's what most of the time when I look at IDs, like there's there was this one guy came through and he had on his ID he has this really bushy beard, and then when he came up he had like it was pretty much not there at all, and I was like, "Yo, who is this man in this picture?" And he was like, "Yeah, I had to shave it off." I was like, "Oh, I guess but it's winter time. You're supposed to have your face covered up." Because he lived in like Montana or something place like this stupid cold, and he's like, "Yeah, I know it's been cold." I was like,
Jenny is fishing for a compliment.
"What? Jenny, I've given you compliments."
And Tyrus is fishing for a compliment because he knows he's not going to get one from me. So I gave you a birthday shout out. You should be happy with that.
He did give you a birthday shout out. I don't think he was here for that. So he actually said, your birthday's in a few days. Give your boy some love. So yeah.
That's about all you're going to get from me. So
That's all. Yeah, that's all you get. I give like happy birthdays or happy belated birthdays depending on because like there's people that'll come in and it'll be like the week of, like a day before or day after, and I'll just say happy.
I'm sorry,
birthday.
you give compliments to little boys?
What?
Is that what you said?
No, I say happy birthday. Little boys, what?
And Brian would like a compliment because evidently I already gave him one.
Brian, you have a very shiny head. Oh, and actually, that was a nice Christmas card too. That was a pretty good Christmas card. I liked it.
Is that
Thank you for that.
Is a shiny head? Is that a compliment?
I don't know. Maybe.
And Tyra says he had a really bad weekend. Can you give him some damn love?
Tyrus, you were a very nice bus driver.
Have you ever ridden on a bus that Tyrus was driving?
No,
So how do you know that?
I'm just making an assumption that hopefully he's a good bus driver.
I like your broccoli. That's not a compliment.
What? Yeah, but she makes really good broccoli.
That's complimenting the food, not the person.
But that's a compliment to the person that made the food because, not everybody can do the broccoli the way that she does the broccoli.
So you're saying your mom does not make good broccoli.
My mom doesn't really cook broccoli.
But if she did, it wouldn't be good.
I'm not saying that either. But my mom doesn't really cook broccoli. My mom doesn't really have to cook anymore either.
When you were a kid growing up, what did your mother cook that was really good?
When we did breakfast for dinner, I really liked that. That was always fun.
Which would consist of?
Pancakes.
So your mother makes good pancakes.
Yes. Pancakes. And then actually when I used to make I remember one morning I tried to make her breakfast in bed because it was like Mother's Day or something, and like I made scrambled eggs, but they were like runny. So she was like, "Thanks, but no thanks."
How?
I was
I'm
little.
curious. How old were you?
I was little. I was like, I think I was
13.
No, I think I was maybe like 9 or 10. I think it was 9 or 10, and I kind of learned how to do because I kind of learned how to do scrambled eggs because that's kind of easy, and your parents could teach you. Because we used to do them in the microwave. I don't know if you ever do that one.
I'm sorry, what?
Scrambled eggs in the microwave.
I'm sorry, what?
You never did that?
I've never even heard of this.
Oh, yeah. You just scramble the eggs and you in a bowl and you put it in the microwave. And then I don't remember even how long you cook it now because I've done everything on the stove for so long. But yeah, you cook it in the microwave.
Please, anyone out there that is the millions around the world that are watching right now, have you ever had microwaved scrambled eggs? Because this is news to me. Is this a thing? because and again, this is the Fat and Black connection. Is this a black culture thing? Like I've never. We got Debbie checking in, and she claims, "Yep, works great." Okay, so clearly not a black culture thing.
That was one of the first ways I learned how to do it.
And Brian, sounds like a horrible idea. Debbie says no oil is needed.
Right.
I personally don't use oil when I cook my eggs. I use butter.
Olive oil or whatever. I use olive oil.
Wow. Yeah, I use a little pat of butter and crack the egg into the butter as it's melted.
Oh yeah, no.
This is interesting because I've known you for 20 plus years, and I lived with you, and I don't recall. And that is, Tyrus, eggs in a microwave is a thing at McDonald's and Burger King. That is inaccurate. McDonald's does not microwave eggs. That is an absolute inaccuracy. McDonald's, I don't know about Burger King, but I can say for a fact that McDonald's, they cook their eggs on a griddle top with a bunch of rings, and they crack individual eggs. Those are not freezer or anything like that.
I think he's talking about the yellow egg, the folded ones for like the.
I can't. Oh, okay. I can't speak to that. But I know that like on the Egg McMuffin, for example.
Yeah, no, eggs. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, those are individual rings. Yeah, no, I mean like that was because I haven't done it in ages. Like, actually no, that's not true. Did I cook those in the oven or did I cook them in the microwave? No, actually that's not true. I did a couple years ago. I did. I saw a recipe online for making like egg McMuffin type deals, and so I had these souffle bowls, and I scrambled eggs in those and put them in the microwave, and then when they came out, I put them. I took them out of the thing and put them onto the muffins that I had, the English muffins that I had.
Well, and since we have Debbie out there checking in, I got to ask Debbie: have you started procuring your clothing options for the cruise that we're going on here in just a couple of months? We've talked about it here on the show. We've got some pretty cool shirts, hoodies available for procurement. Just curious. I haven't seen your order come in, and you've got a lot of people. I can help you acquire custom shirts with your names on them or whatever you would like. Just saying. Let me know. Let me know what your needs are. I'm happy to make that happen. I can even put the O family on them.
O family.
And Debbie says, I was thinking about setting some for the family. Yes, all right. We've got more people coming. That's good news.
Oh, nice.
That's fantastic to hear. Well, let me know anything I can do to fulfill your needs. I am happy to help in that way. So
nice, very good. This is about to be a O family reunion out there.
A mini
video family reunion.
So, James, any other interesting stories? Because obviously this all came tangenting off of you meeting a nice Palestinian girl.
No, that's pretty much it. Oh, bro. Oh, just last one. Okay. Have you ever you haven't worked at when you worked at Dave & Buster's, did you ever have those days that somebody said, "Oh, it's been really slow," and then like you guys got like absolutely murdered that night?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So like the other day we come in, there's not a whole lot going on, and the guy was like, "Oh, it's been slow. It's been slow all day. It should be slow for you guys." And I was like, as soon as he said, I was like, "Oh, you son of a," because we got obliterated. We got obliterated.
Tell me exactly a little bit more. What does that look like? What does that mean when you say obliterated? Like by comparison, give me like a normal day, a slow day, and what this day looked like.
Okay, so let's see. Like slow day, for example, should be Tuesdays. But and then like our busiest days are Sunday and Monday, but that's because people are, they got to get back to work after, or they're leaving on Monday. Sometimes they go to the football games and stuff like that and stay in next day or whatever. But yeah, so it's, I don't really know how to compare like the number wise, but it's like, where like there's some days when we have just like we only have a couple lanes open, and that just covers the people that are working. And so that makes it easy because then we're just like, okay, so we have all these people coming through. But there's been other days where we've had to actually call other checkpoints to be like, yo, get over here because we need help because our lines are just horrendously long. And so that's normally like like I said, Sunday and Monday, those are the days that are normally really bad. But like I think it was a Saturday. I think it was a Saturday, and it was just so bad. Saturday should never be like that, because then it was basically like 3 days in a row where it was not only it was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then like a little bit on Tuesday. But it's like but the only reason is because we had CES, we had the AVNs, and we had just people out there for the weekend, and CES gets a lot of people from all over the place too. So.
And I'm slightly offended for you. So Debbie was in Vegas the 4th through the 7th, and didn't reach out to you, I'm guessing, to say, hey.
Oh, what? I feel bad. Wait, so here's the question, Debbie. Who you fly with?
She did say the lines coming home around 9 a.m. weren't bad at all. But I still want to know why she didn't hit you up and be like, hey.
We could have got a drink or something.
And at least she's hanging. Oh, she flew Southwest.
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't have seen me because I'm at a different check. Well, yeah. If you went through the checkpoint that most of the Southwest flights come through, you definitely wouldn't have seen me over there.
Yes. Anybody that watches this show and is in Vegas and doesn't at least say, hey, let's have a drink.
Hit up, man. I'm off at 7:30, so it's prime time.
Yeah, seriously.
It's okay, Debbie. I'll forgive you. We'll make sure I have a drink on the cruise, or 5.
And Tyra says that on his bus today, there was like almost no one, but he was running 10 minutes late all day.
Dang. Would you start? You start late? I don't even. Or was it traffic?
And evidently Debbie was meeting Lisa, so also someone who was there for CES. So,
sad.
Yeah.
Sad days.
Yeah, you could have seen both of them.
Yeah. Well, yes. Well, that means just drinks on the cruise.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess, Debbie can buy you some drinks on the cruise because they're not included.
Because you won't have to buy them. It's even better. Oh, floods everywhere, huh? Yes. We will see you in April.
Yes, April, so soon, but so far away.
Yeah.
April 15th. We'll be getting into town on April 13th. So
Yes.
we're just a little over 3 months away, man. It's
Yes.
and for me, I've got I think I talked about it here last week or the week before that I'm having a tonsillectomy, and that's February 1st. And so for me, the nice thing is that'll cut into some of that time where like I'm going to be so focused on like the pain of swallowing that I'm going to forget about the cruise for a couple weeks probably. And by the time I come out of it on the other side, it's going to be like, oh crap.
Time to go.
It's like 6 weeks to go.
Yeah. Oh. Man.
And Tyra says that in the Bay Area, they've only had 2 days without rain. The interesting thing about people in the Bay Area is they whine and complain
That
about
they
not
don't get
having
enough
rain.
rain, and then when they
And
get it,
then,
they complain about getting rain. It's like, what do you want?
yeah. And I'm not saying that's you, Tyrus, just to be clear. I'm saying people in the Bay Area. And Debbie would like to know if anyone is going on one of the fishing excursions. And it's interesting that you asked that because I actually had mentioned to my wife that I think
What?
a fishing excursion would be interesting, but I don't know if it's worth it because you could go out there fishing for king salmon or whatever.
And not catch
And
anything.
yeah, and here's the other frustrating thing about those fishing excursions is if you catch something, if you
You
want
you have
if
to
you
get it
want to
shipped
keep
back
it,
to you.
you've got to pay for them to
Shoot.
clean it and box it and ship it to you.
Yeah,
If that was included in the price, where
I'd probably be
you,
okay with that.
yeah, if it was included in the price where you catch it, you keep it, I'd probably be down.
But don't you also have to pay for like the day license and stuff like that for it?
Yeah, and that is not included in the cost as well.
Right. You have to pay for the license and stuff like that. Which I mean, that's not normally like I've gone deep sea fishing in Monterey and we get it like day of, but it's not very expensive at all. But like, yeah, that should because you're paying for the excursion. You're also paying on top of that for you got to pay for the pass. Then you also got to pay to get it, chopped up and shipped back to you.
No, so here's what I'm thinking. And Debbie's son, Kevin, good friend of ours from high school,
Yeah.
he's looking at doing one.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I think the only thing I would say is to make sure he looks at specifically what is within that plan because most of them you've got to pay for the fishing pass separately from what the excursion cost is.
Yeah.
You've got to pay for if you catch anything and you want to keep it, you've got to pay for that. So to me, it's not worth it in that regard. I'd rather go to salmon bake, eat all the salmon I want, or go to a crab cook-off or whatever, eat all the crab I want. Or just, I will say while I'm doing 3 excursions, I'm not doing one in Canada just because it's not really worth it.
Yeah.
The excursions I'm doing, I think from a price perspective, they're not the cheapest, but they're also, I think the value is there,
You doing the
if
train
you
one?
will. I mean, yeah, of course I'm doing the train one in, I think that's Juneau. I posted, if you're a follower, I did post on our group Alaska page, my excursions and what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
And Debbie says that her son likes fishing and wants to say he did it in Alaska.
Okay, then that makes sense.
Yeah, I would say, if that's what he wants to do, then he should do it because, will he ever take the opportunity and take a drive up to Alaska and do it by himself on his own or with some friends or whatever? If the answer is no, then he should do it because
Definitely do it. Yeah.
maybe the only opportunity in his life to do it, right? I don't think, you should take those opportunities when you can. And Debbie's asking if we can post a list of who is eating dinner with us on my birthday. I don't.
I don't have ever account. I mean, we have a count of the people that.
I will tell you that I reserved a table for 24.
That's like her entire group right there.
Yeah, I know, right? She's bringing like 80 people with her or something. I reserved 24 for Cagney's Steakhouse on Wednesday, April 19th. Because the head count that I got, I think, was 18. And so I wanted to make sure we had extra seats. But I'm sure if we have an extra 2, 3, 4 people, it shouldn't be a problem. And of course, the more the merrier to me. Yeah, it's my birthday dinner, but it's really
just an excuse
for us
to get together. Yeah.
Yeah, and have a good meal.
Yeah.
Because I love me a good steakhouse.
All day.
And Debbie, I got to ask, while you were in Vegas, did you happen to eat at Gallagher Steakhouse at the New York? That is the most important question. Because if the answer is no, then you did Vegas wrong.
Oh man. Anyway,
If you're coming into town for a couple of days and you want to have the best meal of your life, you got to go to Gallagher Steakhouse. Right?
it's very true. Or if you had actually called me, I could have told you where, there's other places that are off, that could.
And Debbie says she never made it out of the Venetian.
Oh, that's actually fairly easy to do.
It is quite the resort. That's true.
That is very easy to do. They have everything you need there.
And Tyra says that he's going to go train. I'm going to go train. I don't know if that means he's going to go fight or box or what is that? I'm going to go train, and I'm thinking a whale watching excursion as well. Orcas in the wild with their fins sitting 6 feet instead of slumped over will be awesome. I'm not.
He's talking about, like, you've seen Free Willy, right?
No, I've never actually watched Free Willy.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
really.
Oh. No, but in the dorsal fin on the orcas and a lot of the in the aquariums, their fins seem to droop over, but in the wild,
is there a reason for that?
You know what? I'm not 100% sure. I think they might have talked about it in the movie, but I don't even remember. I think it's a captivity thing.
I was gonna say, is it because they're like unhappy, or
it could be? Yeah, maybe they're sad, and it's but I don't know.
And just for full transparency and everything, because how I like to do that here. These are the short excursions that I will be going on. So I'll be doing the Gold Belt Tram in Juneau. That's I plan to just walk around Juneau, check it out, see what's going on, and hit up the tram and take it up to the top of the mountain and see what's going on in there. And then in Skagway, I'll be doing the White Pass Scenic Railway. So that's the train.
Yeah.
And then in Ketchikan, I'm going to do the Rainforest Canoe and Nature Trail. So I'm going to actually do a little.
Oh, my boy gonna be in a canoe.
Yeah. So, and that one was at my wife's choice. I said, okay, I caved, and we're going to do that one. But
that seems like that's going to be some work, bro.
Well, I will tell you, I am trying to get cruise ready. I'm down 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Yes. I've got some more work to do. I mean, the doctor did tell me to not be surprised that if I lose 20 pounds after the surgery, just from not wanting to eat and stuff. So there is an extreme possibility going into this cruise that I could be 50 pounds down, which means I got to make that up with all the food and stuff I'm going to do on this cruise. So,
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we might not be able to be called fat and black anymore, man.
I think unless I get below like 175, I'm always going to be fat.
Oh,
and I don't. If I get down to 220, that would be impressive. And I can also say, here's another example of some shore excursions that somebody else in our group is going on. In Skagway, the Mushers Camp and Gold Panning. They're also in Skagway going to do the White Pass Scenic Railway. In Juneau, they're doing the Juneau Tram like me, but they're also doing the Mendenhall Glacier. And then in Ketchikan, the Self-Drive Zodiac Adventure. So some examples of what people on the cruise are doing. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate the love, because it's not like I'm really trying hard. It was one of those things where I stepped on a scale at the doctor's office and saw a scary number, and I was like, okay, I have to do something now. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not like I've done a ton. A lot of it has purely been portion control. and cutting out a lot of like crappy carbs, like, at breakfast, instead of having cereal, I'm having like a protein shake, for example, things like that. I still eat mac and cheese, but instead of eating 2 boxes, I eat like a half a box.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a lot of it is honestly just portion control, trying to eat less, for lack of a better descriptor. Instead of eating, I don't know, instead of eating a whole box of rice-a-roni, uh, I'll make a box of rice-a-roni and eat it over like 3 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, soda. Matt Murray calls that soda. That's one I have not had, aside from occasionally, like if we go to McDonald's, I'll have a Coke. I really have not been drinking soda. I've been primarily sticking to drinking flavored water. So like basically this whole thing, when I fill it up, I'll do a sweet tea, but the whole thing only has, I think, like 50 calories.
Oh, very good.
So the worst is like these days when I do this show and I come on and I drink one of these things, because they're probably bad and it doesn't even have like the nutritional information on it.
It's on the box.
Dude, this doesn't have a box.
Oh, you just bought the cans.
Yeah, the alcohol, the twisted tea.
Yeah, no, you bought the can. You didn't buy the pack.
Yeah, so originally what I had set to do was, in honor of Tyrus's birthday coming up, my intention on this episode was to drink some 32s of High Life. But unfortunately, when I went to Les Cefois the other day, they did not have 32s of High Life. They didn't have High Life at all, as a matter of fact. They didn't have 40s.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'll just get a 40 of something then. But no, they didn't have 40s. They didn't have a 32 High Life.
You didn't go. You had to go to a liquor store for that, apparently.
Yeah, I should have gone to 7-Eleven or something, but
Yeah.
it was, last minute, and I was at Les Cefois, so it was like,
Yeah.
let me get something here. And that's what happens when you go to bougie shopping stores like Les Cefois.
Super bougie.
Seriously. What else, James? Anything else going on?
No, not really.
Well, the only other thing that I will say is there was a depressing moment this last week, and I haven't really talked about it or posted about it, and I don't want to talk about it too much because it is kind of sad and a little bit depressing. But you mentioned it earlier. I used to work for Dave and Buster's,
Mhm.
and Dave, we lost him back in like 2015. He passed away,
Mhm.
and this year on January 2nd. We lost Buster.
Oh, dang.
And that was kind of, as an old school Dave and Buster guy, obviously not old school. I wasn't, when I came into Dave and Buster, we were at store number 24. So they've been around for a minute, but I started at Dave and Buster's in 2003, so 20 years ago. So yeah, he passed away, and news just broke in the last week about it and everything. It was, unfortunately, it was a suicide.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it was very sad. He was 72. He had a stroke not that long ago, and yeah. So Dave and Buster are both now gone, and that was sad because I met those guys.
Yeah.
It's not like I knew them intimately or anything, but I
Yeah.
met them, and when Dave passed, that really sucked.
Oh, see, it's not just me.
All right, I guess I'm gonna blame Tesla for my new solar installation. They done something to my power,
You messed up my power.
which has affected my
No,
internet.
but that's no, that sucks, man.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't like to necessarily do, sad, bad things here, but I attribute a lot of who I am and where I am today to the 5 years I spent working there early in
Yeah.
my working life career, if you will. That's where I learned about going above and beyond and putting the customer first and things of that nature. And I know that we have friends of this show that watch, listen, whatever, that have all worked there as well. And yeah, so it's rough. It's not. It's so. Anyways, Buster, yeah, big time fun. Buster gone too soon.
Yep.
This year's been rough already. A lot of good people. A lot of good people taken away already in the 11 days that is this new year. So it's interesting.
Yeah. But hey, let's look up. I meant more figuratively than anything. The brighter side of life.
Thank you, Monty Python.
Yeah, so all right, man. I think is that a wrap?
Sure. Let's call it good.
Why not? All right.
Well,
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Ladies first.
Wow. I was just going to say good night, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight. Hope you had fun.
You know what? I will tell you, it was real. And it was fun. But it sure as hell was not